I love Splitgate. That's the first thing I want to get out of the way. The fact that Splitgate, as of now, is the game I've been playing the most and the game I am enjoying the most. So you're probably asking the question, why are you making a video about the sad truth of Splitgate? Well, if you want to find out, you're in the right place, so we'll get started. Today, I'm going to be doing a comprehensive review on Splitgate and the future of Splitgate, and why I worry for this game's life cycle despite it being one of the most intriguing and engaging first person shooter games on the market right now. Splitgate is a new arena multiplayer shooter that has recently skyrocketed in popularity due to a new free to play cross platform open beta that has become available in the past month. A common comparison you've probably heard is Halo with Portals, and I mean for the most part that is accurate, but this game has quickly developed its own identity as a solid new first-person shooter game. Or maybe not so quickly. As it turns out, Splitgate was actually released on the 24th of May in 2019. Now the question here is, how does a 2-year-old game suddenly become popular years later? I think it's best that we take a look. When Splitgate first came out on Steam as a free-to-play shooter, it appeared that it grabbed an awful lot of attention and publicity from streamers, which heavily encouraged their viewers to download this awesome new free game and give it a try. The game had a plethora of playlists ranging from Domination, King of the Hill, Free-for-all, Team Deathmatch, and a lot of other game modes. The developers had even implemented custom game mode, which could be set to private and public with all sorts of super fun modifiers, as well as a ranked playlist. The comparison with old Halo rose almost instantly as the gun set was composed an almost direct replica of Halo's. The guns available at the time were the assault rifle, the carbine, which is a semi-auto rifle, the battle rifle, which is identical to the Halo battle rifle, even in design, the pistol, the SMG, the plasma rifle, the sniper, the shotgun, and the railgun. Growing up on the likes of Halo Reach, Halo 4, and Halo 3 ODST, I felt a sense of comfort in these weapons as I play on PS4, and the whole rebooting guns from older Call of Duties in Cold War and Warzone was wearing incredibly thin. The game felt like a real breath of fresh air, but what made it collapse? Well, as all free-to-plays basically require nowadays, there was a microtransaction and a loot box system, both of which were just not that good. You could customize your portals, armor, and gun skins, and you received a loot box free every level. This sounds delightful on paper, but the cosmetics just looked vile. The armor was separated into helmet, body, and legs, which you could mismatch between every armor set you got. A cool concept for sure, but it just looks so disgusting. I don't know how else to put it. The cosmetics are either lackluster or just an absolute criminal offense to the eyes. Along with this, it almost felt like the engine couldn't keep up with the advanced mechanics of the game. To make matters worse, in December of 2019, the Master Chief Collection was ported to PC and released on Steam, feeding all of the Halo fans' thirst for the feeling of the older Halo games. Although this was months after Splitgate's initial release, it was also quickly overcast by the release of Apex Legends First Season, another game that had boomed in the gaming community. As the season went on, the player base of Apex Legends shrunk to an all-time low, giving Splitgate a chance to breathe, only to be stomped to the ground by the very game that started it all. This, along with the game developers putting their budget in recognized streamer publicity while the game was still in an unfinished state, left the game dropping to a 4-digit player base going into 2020. On the 13th of July, 2021, Splitgate was released to PlayStation and Xbox in a cross-play beta that was 100% free. The game once again blew up in the community and demolished the Splitgate servers, having them constantly at maximum capacity, leaving people in several hour-long queues just to get into the game. The game had fully rebranded and redone a lot of the initial issues with the game, changing the hit registration, cosmetic system, and completely overhauling the user interface. Without paid promotion, the game had latched onto the community again and reached record-breaking numbers. Along with it came a 15-tier mini battle pass with exclusive beta items that can only be obtained by progressing through the pass. The game felt so much more consistent, and the introduction of a new weapon, the BFB, or the Bat, had refreshed the initial spark the game had. The new cosmetics and item shop were very refreshing and gave the skin system a sense of excitement. Along with that was the challenges for the guns, which gave each gun 13 unlockable skins that were gained through challenges, and when all were completed, rewarding you with a gold skin for that respective gun. Splitgate appeared to take its community by storm, prepared to compete with the 3 new mega titles that are Call of Duty Vanguard, Halo Infinite, both of which are receiving an immense amount of negative feedback from their communities, and of course the highly anticipated Battlefield 2042. The game appears to have found its strength and steadily holds itself up, competing against the religiously hated Black Ops Cold War and freshly released Season 10 Apex Legends. So what really is the problem, and where can the sad truth be found? I worry. Personally, I worry for this game's life cycle, as I enjoy myself so much when I play and would love to see this game continue its reign for years to come, possibly even overtaking newly released Call of Duties and Halos. But just like before, I fear that the development team and marketing team won't be able to keep up engagement. The best comparisons I can draw are the other mega monster free-to-play titles that are Apex Legends, Fortnite and Warzone. Although Fortnite is heavily reducing in publicity, the microtransactions keep the money rolling in for Epic Games, the same of which can be said for their smaller title Rocket League. Granted, Fortnite is directed at a more younger audience, but we can take a look at the other titles, which are both PG-13 titles. As for Warzone, almost bi-weekly, they released a new bundle with Mastercraft weapons that revamp the original look, or tracer packs that give the guns a new sense of personality. This is only about cosmetic and a consistent money grab to keep the game operating. As for new release content to keep engagement levels up, Apex Legends runs a system that brings out a new weapon and a legend every season, as well as one or multiple in-season events that bring a full set of new cosmetic, new limited time modes, and a plethora of changes to the base game. The same can be said for Warzone, releasing 3 new guns every season and then having another mid-season update that brings about limited time modes, free cosmetics, and even more new weapons. What I fear for Splitgate is it will have the same fate as the recently released Hyperscape, a battle royale developed by Ubisoft that was released in mid-2020 that died on its first DLC season, to the point where players in small data centers could never have the required players to even start a match. The problem with Hyperscape is there was no sense of freshness every season, and a lack of content to re-engage new and revisiting players. The new season was just a new set of wishy-washy cosmetics that were only acquired through the game's premium currency. Splitgate will need to have a balance between money-pulling cosmetics that players want to buy, as well as engaging new content that stops players from leaving to go play AAA megacorp free-to-plays like Warzone, Apex, and Fortnite. Another thing that could either be a positive or a negative is the massive skill gap Splitgate has. Free-to-players that are migrating from the likes of Warzone may end up with a bad taste in their mouth when they figure out that they can't win games and get kills by sitting in corners with claymores and 100-round weapons that kill in seconds that has a setup they saw in J-God's new video. The truth is, free-to-play games are inclusive of bad players like this, and when a new title like Splitgate comes out, heavily orientated on forward thinking, situational position, and above all high-intensity aim and tracking, they might get scared and feel insulted of their lack of skill and close the game, never for it to be opened again. A lot of player bases from free-to-play games want to come home and relax, which essentially means they want developers and communities to overlook their cheese and scummy tactics so they don't have to face the reality of improvement. On the other hand, this could attract players who are fed up with the dried out Warzone meta and are prepared for a new challenge to expand their skill set in video games. In popular COD YouTube, FaZe Jev's Splitgate video, he briefly makes a joke at the current state of Warzone and how relieving the Splitgate playstyle is. Splitgate does so much right, in the way it reignites the community of free-to-play shooters and is seriously fun to play. If you haven't checked the game out already, I 100% recommend you do because it is a blast to play and is really fun with a few friends. As for the future of Splitgate, we can only hope the developers are prepared for the massive workload that is keeping up with these huge free-to-play titles. Of course, Splitgate doesn't have to stay a mainstream game and could sum up a niche, competitive community that keeps the game running and operating, but I'm taking this video from the standpoint that it wants to compete with these massive free-to-play titles like Fortnite, Warzone, and Apex Legends. And for you as a player who wants to help this game's life cycle, the best thing you can do at the moment is look for some cool cosmetics in the shop and buy yourself one if you like the look of it, because so far that is what's going to help boost this game's ability to operate and in turn give us more content as players. Quickly, I just want to say if you made it to the end of the video, a big thank you. This is my first time doing a kind of comprehensive video rather than a gameplay video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and as a special treat if you made it to the end, here is an awesome trick shot I hit while playing Splitgate.